Liepe here, talking about voice types. A lot is thrown around about baritone, bass, tenor, soprano, alto, these terms, and a lot of times vocalists end up being psychologically limited by what they've been told they are or what they think they are. In some cases, by classifying your voice under a certain voice type, you can discover some things about it, what it's good at, what you might want to find another vocalist to help with, particularly if you're singing in a choir, which is where these voice types are most useful. But these things can actually act like a disease, in that, oh, I'm a baritone, I could never sing that, or I'm a bass, I can't ever sing along with Guns N' Roses because I'm a bass. So we tend to throw out things that we shouldn't be throwing out. We're giving up opportunities because we've been labeled, we've been diagnosed as a bass or a baritone or a tenor, and we want to sing lower or we want to sing higher. All the while getting this comparison mindset back in, which I've talked about in other videos as well. We hear a guy that sings really high and we wish we could do that, but oh no, I can't because I'm a baritone. You see this pattern of thinking, how this could be way less productive than another way? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the way to think about these voice types and also demonstrate to you what really matters about your voice, both in terms of timbre and range, and then help you explore your voice more fully.
In this light, I can't hide my face, so I will run away from this place. It's like a race with the light of day, making way through the lasting
If this video really speaks to you, click the link below and join my free vocal course where I actually take another student on video through the process of discovering all sorts of things about their voice. You can see our interaction, you can work with the exercises and mindsets that I give you, and it's going to blow your voice wide open, taking it to a whole other level. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on so that you are made aware of every video as they come out, and I can keep teaching you. Okay, so we're going to start by declassifying our voices. I am not a tenor, baritone, or bass, or soprano, or alto, and neither are you. We're going to deconstruct them in a way that doesn't label them that way. One of the big things that you probably read a lot on the internet or hear a lot of people saying when it comes to voice types is it's all about comfort. Do what is comfortable for your voice. Don't sing out of your range. Do what your voice type should do. And I say no. I say don't stick to what's comfortable. I say let's figure out how we can make lots of notes comfortable. Let's explore the right techniques and the right way to think about our voice so that we can do things that maybe once were uncomfortable and now they're comfortable, and they're all sorts of rangy. There are all sorts of people who start with lower voices, thicker, richer voices, and figure out how to use their head voice and their mixed voice in appropriate and efficient ways, and are able to blow tenors away in the way that they work with their voices. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus just purely on creating low presence and resonance with our voice. We don't even care about what the note is right now. And every voice is different. Every voice is going to do things in a certain way, even when we practice. So as I'm doing this, take notes and do it afterward. Okay, so I'm just going to go, I don't even know what note that is, but that's a comfortable, resonant chest lower note. La la la. I'm gonna sing through a couple words and phrases. A, E, A, O. Yeah. Okay, that's comfortable for me. Now I'm gonna go a little bit lower. Yeah. Okay. So that's about as low today that I can go. That's another thing is voices change day by day. I have to rediscover what my range is every day. Yeah. Okay, so now that I've sort of figured out what that is, I'm going to reach over here for my guitar. And la la la. La la la. It was just sharp of an E. The low string on the guitar. La la la. But really, la la la. There was a time when I was doing a cover, you can see it on YouTube, of Come Together by the Beatles. And, you can see right now, la la la. And there's no way I could get any lower than that right now. La la la. It's not comfortable, it just doesn't work. But my voice was behaving a certain way because I had some extra postnasal drip going on, and I was hitting a D below this E really, really well, and I took advantage of that and recorded the bass parts for Come Together. So had I had the mindset of a lot of singers, and like I used to be, I could never sing that song in D because I can't hit that. That's my range. But because I'm constantly looking for opportunities with my voice, that covering that song was possible in that key. And it was a really neat example of just being open-minded, never saying you can't. Maybe say, when can you? Okay, so la la la. Now, what I want to do is play around and go up, but go up until I am no longer comfortable. La 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 la, purely in chest right now. La 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 la. Right there is when I start to sort of break. La 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 la. So if I'm going to be totally comfortable in chest, I'd say it's about there. La la la. La 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 la, C, C, C. Okay, so a lot of people would say that this voice that I'm showing you right now, given the resonance, given the quality of it, and given the notes that I'm hitting, that would be a solid baritone. A bass could go lower maybe. If I'm comfortable here, la la la, does that mean that I better stick to those notes because that's my range. I'm comfortable. Well, no. Now let's figure out using my head voice. La, la, la. Let's be comfortable. Let's ignore the fact that we might sound a little wimpy and just keep going. La, 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 I'm starting to tighten up a little bit up there, but back to that sort of natural thing. Now, but what if I push my chest up a little? La, 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 la. Wasn't that pretty, but that's okay. La. There's a G. La, la, la. Now, here's where the comfortable thing really falls apart, right? I'm fairly comfortable there. I'm using better support. So is my range limited by what people tell me it is, by what a classification is, or is it limited by the fact that in one instance I wasn't supporting my voice well enough, and so I wasn't able to hit that G comfortably in my chest voice? You see what I'm doing here? We have to look for root cause instead of just going label and that's what I am, right? What's my support doing? Am I comfortable hitting that in head voice? Am I comfortable hitting it in chest voice? It's okay all day to hit notes in head voice, right? Let's not use a preconceived notion about our voice to say that we can only do X or we can't do X. So let's keep going. So la la la, la la la. What happens if we then flip into head voice? La. It's a G in head, and an A, or G in chest. Ah! Now, what if I just really screw around and I maintain my good support while pushing further up, and I start using some of the things that I have been over on this channel and that I cover in depth in my course, and I start using dying cat. Ah! Ah! Row! 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 Well, that's neither chest nor head. That's a very brash mix. Ah! Just like I did going low, I don't know what note that is. I'm just experimenting with my voice, and now I'm going to pin it on the guitar. Oh! 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 Okay, I'm hitting it. That's a D5. Oh! Wow! Oh! But I didn't shoot for hitting a D5. I just started making a cat noise. Now, should a baritone be able to hit a D5 in chest? Well, no. Or should a tenor? Well, some tenors maybe. But it doesn't matter. I'm hitting a D5, and right now it sounds ridiculous. But it feels comfortable. It feels comfortable. That's the goal. How can I sing something and have it be comfortable? How can I make a noise and have it be comfortable? Then I can work on my tone, and then it doesn't matter what kind of voice type I am. If I want to sing a D5 in a song, and if there's a melody that I'm trying to sing that goes that high, I can work tonally, remembering and calling up these sorts of feels, comparing them with my own ears, with my own voice, to what sounds good based on what feels good. So let's get there with that D5, right? Because I know my voice, because I have to continually get to know my voice, I know that I'm going to be able to handle that D5 in certain ways. And it's going to be different than some other singer. But it's not because they're a different voice type. It's just because they're a different human being, right? So I want to figure out what works well for me. Don't limit yourself! Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around in the key of G. And in the key of G is that D is a fifth of that key. So we have the was that initial one that I supported and was able to do, and then we have is that D, the elusive D5. Okay? So, and I just want to be me. And I want to realize that I've already hit it. I've already hit it accidentally. And now I'm going to just kind of work it in, fool around with it. And we'll use the phrase, don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. yourself. No, no, no. No, no, no. Head voice. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Oh. You know, maybe I sound too nasal. Good. Maybe I sound not like I'd like to. We don't care how things sound. We only care how things feel. Record yourself and then listen back to how you sound then and adjust your feel based on your sound that you're hearing back. Right now, we just want to feel things. Yeah. Don't limit yourself. Don't roll. Don't roll. Don't roll. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. No. No. Don't limit. So, me getting up there on that on that D5, I think it's working. It feels good. I'm able to be expressive. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit. Don't wrong. Don't limit. Don't limit. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit. Don't limit. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit. 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 Limit yourself. So there's a lot of warts in there, right? My voice is cracking. I'm pushing into distortion. I'm realizing my break. And singing. You know, that distortion there was because I had harnessed my break and pushed into it. So it sounded less like an unintentional crack and more like a very aggressive note. But this is the type of perspective that's going to help you discover your voice for what it is and the possibilities included in your voice, as opposed to thinking of your voice as being limited. My voice is not limited at all. That's the way I choose to think about it. My voice is full of possibilities. My possibilities are different than Chester Bennington's possibilities, than Chris Cornell's possibilities, than Miles Kennedy's possibilities. But those guys are some of my favorite vocalists, and I can learn from them. But my voice has a different set of possibilities that as I practice and stumble and make noise and whine and sing through my nose and let my voice crack all the time, I'm going to discover how things work. And there are going to be all sorts of little musical gems that are going to come out of this type of experimentation as long as we have the right mindset. I hope this was helpful for you. If you'd like to take things further, again, be sure to join my free vocal course linked below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on. Let me know what other videos you'd like me to do. This video was the result of multiple questions that I've had about voice types. So I was happy to provide it for you. We'll see you for more. Chris Liepe here with how to connect your head voice and your chest voice cleanly and discreetly. No break, and we can add distortion if we want to over it, but what if we just want to be super seamless and clean and hip all at the same time? If you'd be so kind to subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on so that you're made aware of the videos that I put out as they come out, that would be great. And if you'd like to take your voice to the level of being able to have this kind of control, this kind of introspection, so that you can communicate with your voice the way you want to, click the link below and request an invitation to my course, Discover Your Voice. I'll help you break down your voice completely and rebuild it from the ground up. Okay, so 2 steps to connect our head voice to our chest voice seamlessly. The first one, we're going to think downward, and you heard it in the demonstration earlier. We're going to start with a pure head voice note, like that, and then we're going to, as we drop the pitch, we're going to let our support sort of fall out from under us. So we're highly supported, abs flexed, poop muscles bearing down, sound coming up, neck is loose, we're not introducing any extra tension, and then we're going to go, We're not going to go, That, what I just did, is the result of not moderating my support, not moderating my push. I'm going to let it fall out from under my voice, and as a result, we're going to decrease in pressure and decrease in volume, and as we drop our pitch, we're going to notice that our break sort of disappears. This might take you a bit, but be patient with yourself. So we're going to start with a pitch just like I did at the beginning. Notice, as I'm letting out, I'm not going ba. It's ba. And there's no break. Ba ba da ba. So spend some time in your head voice. It's pure head. 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 Yeah. Here's our chest. There's our chest. There's our chest. We're used to talking in our chest. And now we're going to talk in our head, and we're going to support just like we were in our chest. La la la, la la la, la la la. It's not going to happen that way every time. Sometimes, especially at the beginning, you're going to get this. It's about learning when to go down in pitch as you pull that rug out from under your support. That meant I was descending faster than I was getting rid of the support. So I need to get rid of support faster so that my voice is less supported as I go down. Now, what this does in practicality when you're singing is you learn to moderate your support in that area of your voice so that when you're singing in that in-between where you're tempted to break, you know exactly how much push, how much bearing down to give yourself in that transition. That blend. Airflow moderation as we dip. Now here's the next step. This time, instead of going down, we're going to go up. And we're going to use a similar connection to our airflow and our support. We're going to think about it a little bit differently on the way up. Instead of pulling something out from under us, we're going to think about bringing our chest up. This normally has the byproduct with most singers where they start tensing their neck. And I'll show you what I mean. A lot of guys go, ah, ah, like that, where they reach for the note. We don't want to reach for it. Instead, we want to think about our chest voice going up. But when we do this, instead, throw it through our nasal passage. Make it extra nasal. Leave things down. Don't do this. Don't tense. Leave your jaw loose. And let your voice crack first. First, we want to find where that break is. That's my chest. That's my chest. There's my head. There's a break. That sounds very different. We want to be able to slide into it, though, and mask that transition. So we're connecting our chest to our head. And then, as we pursue this more, this support moderation, we'll be able to mix. But it's about airflow, compression, and this idea of support moderation, which is airflow too. So, that's cool in and of itself, but it's not what we're going for. Now I'm going to push up to that note, and I'm going to let my neck be engaged for now. Just to tell myself that I'm not going to do it that way. That time, I threw it through my nose. Lots going through my nose. And brought my chin down. I am in head voice there, but I have bridged the gap by sliding it up, and instead of focusing on reaching for the pitch, I channel that energy into placing it more in my nose. Now I'm not doing that in chest. I'm making that transition to my nasal passage as I slide up in pitch. This all combined with the idea of, it's like your support, think about your support as a gas pedal. When I'm in my chest, I'm pushing on the gas a little bit more. And then as I feel that sensation in my voice wanting to break, I let off the gas. And at the same time I put it in my nose. I can always put it back out of my nose afterward as I taper that gas off. You can hear me breaking a little there. There it is. Let's play with both up and down over the track. That airflow moderation there, where I really backed off the gas there as I was going down. You didn't hear the break. Let's try it again. Now, from the example in the beginning, listen to my vocals soloed so that you can hear the various implementations of these techniques that I'm teaching you in a bit more refined way. I always think it's fun to listen to isolated vocals anyway. So here you go. That's that right there, right? I'm connecting, I'm grounding it in my chest, that high head voice note, which it just adds this neat vibe, this neat, beefy, cool thing. No break. Listen here. I went, there's that sense that we're in head and then we're digging into chest.
You're playing with fire, girl, yeah. The fire in my eyes. You're playing with fire, girl, yeah. The fire deep inside.
Now listen to this one here. Same thing there. Fire! Connecting it with that airflow management that we talked about. If you want to take this stuff way further by digging into how your voice should feel as you use it in different ways, click that link below and request an invitation to my course, Discover Your Voice. Also, be sure to request in the comments other videos you'd like me to make, other questions you have, and I'll help you unpack your voice further. We'll see you for more. Hey, Chris Liepe here with what might be missing from your mixed voice, and maybe a reason you're having trouble finding a consistent mixed voice. Well, once you find this and implement it, your entire range, not just your mixed voice, is going to be more versatile and powerful. One word: contrast. Now, before you stop the video and move on to something else, hear me out. Contrast is what might be missing from your mixed voice, and contrast, or the lack of it, may be the reason you have trouble knowing if you are in mixed voice, or if you're just in a well-supported head voice, or if you're in a belty chest voice that's really high. Once we understand the feel of true contrast in our voice, there will be no doubt that you're in mix, and you'll be able to project a more confident and versatile mix. Now let's unpack this a little bit. If I'm singing a note, hey, I should be able to evaluate that as a pure chest note. It's at the relatively top of my chest range, but it's still a chest note. Now, if I do, ah, okay, well, that is a pure head voice note. Or if I go like this, ha, 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 that would be what a lot of people would be considering as a falsetto note. My chord closure is less closed, okay? So there's all sorts of ways that I can approach various notes when I'm doing singular notes. And I can evaluate those feels, I can evaluate the resonance. The problem is, a ton of singers, when they get into singing actual lines, actual songs, they forget that they can evaluate the feel as they're singing. And then what happens is this. I have one way to sing and one volume, one way to sing and now my range is limited, one way to sing and na-na-na-na-na. The pressures of the gig have made my voice really limited. Now, I'm singing in confident upper chest, but I have abandoned every other good part of my voice, right? The down here kind of goes away. La, 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 la. Certainly, yeah! All that stuff goes away. So by purposely initiating contrast in your delivery, when you're singing songs, when you're singing real lines, over trying to hit notes in a certain way, and usually this is when you try to hit notes in a certain way, you're comparing yourself to how another artist has sung this particular line or how you think you should be able to sing it. What I'm suggesting is this, that you build in contrast to your performance, to your delivery, as a way to vary things, vary sound, but also as a way to help you practice feeling different ways that your voice can deliver notes. Now you might be asking, what does this have to do with mixed voice in particular? Well, I'll make the argument after watching a lot of singers and experiencing this myself, you may be able to get the feel of mixed voice by doing a note here and there, right? But if you really want to take that to the next level and use it in songs, you have to start realizing that your voice, when you're singing and performing, all of it should be a product of various different feels of mixed voice. That's kind of how we want to think about it. It's a one voice mentality. But by intentionally exposing these contrasts in our voice, we open this up. Most singers have their experimental voice where they're singing a note here and there, and then they clam up and only sing in upper chest when they go to perform. And then they wonder when they try to hit some of those notes that they were doing in their practice sessions, why they can't hit them and why they tense up and bleh, right? So I'm going to take my voice to the backing track that you heard at the very beginning of this video, and I'm going to show you how to practice contrast. Now, this type of practicing assumes that you have gotten the feel of a basic mix, which I've covered in other videos. And in order to get the feel of basic mix, if you're unsure of that, click the link below and join my free vocal course, and I'll help you dissect the kind of support you need in order to get this kind of feel. Let's listen over the track. Watch me. I'll narrate through what I'm doing as I go over the track several times and show you how to implement contrast in a really obvious way. Okay, here's my scale. A basic pentatonic bluesy scale. Yeah. I've started by hitting those higher notes in my pure head voice. Yeah. Break into my chest. That is the natural way my voice hits those notes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to intentionally run down that scale with as many different feels, just paying attention to how everything feels as possible. So it might mean I'll change up the vowel a little bit. It might mean I'll try to break into my head resonance, or from my head resonance to my chest resonance in a different place. that's harder. I tense up a little bit there. Let's. Now, I have not entered into a mix yet at all. I'm merely feeling what that scale does when I transfer between resonances. Now, I can start inserting contrast intentionally. I know where I can break. I know about how it feels when I break in certain different places. Now I'm going to summon the mixed voice up in those higher notes. Add some compression. Yeah! I'm going to add more compression to that note. Yeah! I'm going to keep going with it and experiment the extremes with that note, and then I'm going to take that entire idea of contrast and varying feels down that scale. Here's what that sounds like over the track. Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So the mindset behind what I'm doing is not just doing things randomly. It's choosing to approach a note or a set of notes differently than I did before and evaluating that feel. Well, I chose to do it differently. It sounds different. Does it feel different? How does it feel different? And why is choosing difference, implementing it, and evaluating it so important? Because it completely gets us out of the realms of being stuck in one resonance because we're trying to fulfill some expectation. Not everything you do is going to sound good. Great. But if you have as many varying feels with your voice, with a particular scale, with a particular line as possible, you're going to go into your next performance situation going, I got this. I know what it feels like to do this. I know what it feels like to do that. I know it. And you're going to access mix like that. Not just when you're singing one note in your basement practicing. Let's do a little bit more drilling over the track. Yeah. How much contrast can? How much contrast can I create?
So remember that word, contrast, the next time you practice. The more varied feels you can pinpoint and experience, the more easily you're going to be able to go in and out of those different feels, and the easier time you're going to have when it comes to delivering a one range, melded together, energetic performance. Again, if you want help unpacking your voice on a whole other level, even deeper than this, really, click the link below and join my free vocal course, and I'll help you rebuild your voice from the ground up. We'll see you for more. How about those pesky E and oo vowels? Why are they so hard to sing? Why can you sing really high on ah, but not on E or oo? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to place those vowels so that they don't hinder your singing, but rather you can use them to enhance your intensity and be intentional about the way you use them.
Now I'm free from you, and there's nothing left to say. Now I'm free from you, and there's nothing left to say. I'm free from you. I'm free. She's on way. It's all for the
Hey, I'm Chris Liepe, and I want to help you overcome obstacles so that you can have a more freeing singing experience and learn to truly love your voice for what it is. And these vowels are one of the things that trip a lot of people up, and I've actually gotten a lot of requests about this topic. Before I go into this, though, there's really no way you're going to be able to fully understand how to place your vowels, to place your voice, if you don't have a solid understanding of how to support your voice. Proper breath control, using the right amount of airflow in the right way to generate sound. So if you don't understand that, or you'd like to take some of the stuff that I'm working on in this video to another level, be sure to join my free vocal course linked below. Okay, so one of the main problems, we're going to start with E. One of the main problems that people run into with E is it always feels choked, and it is. People try to form the E vowel too far back. They try to form it with their neck. Think E, E. Now, if you think I'm just exaggerating and that's not really how you do it, say the word free, free, free. Say it. Free, and stop. Free. What's happening? E. What's the back of your tongue doing? Free. Well, it raised up. The back of my tongue raised up, and my soft palate went lower. Free, free, free. Now, I'm going to do it through my nasal passage and not through my nasal passage. So free, free. So I'm cutting off airflow to my nose. If I'm saying that word free, the back of my neck is sort of involved in this closure that happens on my tongue and my soft palate. That's the wrong way to do an E vowel. Let's do it differently. But in order to really dial in the different, we actually need to start with a different vowel. We're going to go ah, I, like that. Now, you can sort of see with my tongue, I am no longer forming that vowel, I. I'm no longer doing that. That would be the back of my tongue going, I, and then my soft palate going down. I. I'm actually using the front of my tongue. This is what's known as placing the vowel forward. I. So if we speed this up and say the word I. While maintaining focus on the front of our tongue, we actually have the back of our throat and our tongue and soft palate free and opened up. So if we go higher in pitch, again, no singing. Ah! We're going to try to do free, and we're going to do it how we would normally. Free, 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 free. Now I'm free. Horrible. Now we're going to start with ah. Now I'm free. Free. Still sounds like an E. Now I'm going to think what I just did, but not actually do it. Start with ah. Now I'm free. Now I'm free for. That's how we approach the E vowel, by doing it forward and mentally focusing on the front of our tongue and thinking ah while the front of our mouth does E. That's the way to do it. I cover this in a lot more detail in my course with all the vowels and placement. So if you want to take this stuff further, again, be sure to click that link below. Now let's do oo. Let's just say fruit. 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 What's happening? Fruit. Well, I know when I say the word fruit and I'm not thinking about it, especially when I have an R next to it, fruit. Again, it's in the back. I'm using the back of my tongue and soft palate to help shape that vowel. The reason we don't want to do that is because using the back of my tongue and soft palate should be shaping my overall tone control. Like that. That should be independent of my vowel formation. When we confuse the two, we tense up because we think we need to have a certain tone or larynx position to hit certain vowels. That's a huge misconception, and it screws people up all the time. We have to separate that. And where this really becomes necessary is on the E and U vowels. So fruit, fruit. What I want to do is I want to start with O, froat, fro, my open, fro, froat, froat. And again, this is happening. I have this tongue the front of my tongue is raising up a little bit. It's not the very front. The tip of my tongue is still sort of behind my teeth, although not pushing on my teeth. It's free. I could be above. Throat, throat. Could totally do that. But you've seen a lot of vocalists where the front portion of their tongue, James Labrie from Dream Theater, Ken Tamplin, both of these guys are really good at forming their vowels forward, and you can see it in their tongue. Taking visual cues from them is going to help us in this case. So, fro, open. I'm not squeezing back here. Fro, fro, fro. Yawn to free that up. Fruit, 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 fruit. Now, the back is as open as the front, and I'm using the front part of my tongue, and of course my mouth, ooh, to create the rest of that ooh sound. Fruit, fruit, Now hear the difference? Here it is. It may sound more like, oh, he's really forming the vowel when I'm doing it in the back. Oh, right? There's a bigger change. Fruit, fruit, fruit. You can hear the difference though. This one is the right way. And when you're singing, and you have this open throat approach to forming your vowels, and you combine with other things like proper compression, airflow management, and support, your vowels come out clear. But when people don't put all that stuff together, they think that they need to get a certain tone in their singing by using the back of their throat and at the same time forming their vowels back there. Again, that doesn't work. So, E, free, free, forward, free, not free, and oo, fro, Fruit. Let's take this in different areas with actual notes. Free. Nope. Free. 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 Relaxed tongue, relaxed throat. Works really well. Fruit. Fruit. Nope. Fruit. Fruit. Nope. Fruit. 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 Oh, it feels so much better. I can even add compression and grit and rasp in there, and I'm able to create a sound that sounds cool, but feels open. Fruit, yeah! Free, free, fruit, fruit. Now, I can even experiment with different tone control by raising and lowering my larynx independently of my, and I was doing some of that earlier when I was adding the grit, but again, they're separate. Vowel formation and tone control are different. Free, free, free. That's all open, right? I'm using compression and larynx position independently of the vowel, and I can go really high that way. Free, free, free. And really aggressive. Free, free, free! Whoa! Fruit, fruit, fruit! Fruit! I hope this has been helpful to you. Again, if you want to take this stuff deeper, be sure to click the link below and join my free vocal course. We'll see you for more.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you